This isn't just about Asia getting her shoe, Asia being only the second African-American woman to have her signature shoe with Nike. It means a whole lot to me, especially being the first. I don't know if I thought there would be another black female athlete to get a signature shoe, and to see that happen and to be around to witness it. I think of all the little girls out there who can dream and have goals, to know that those dreams can become a reality. It touches me in a special place.
Back in May of last year, Aya Wilson voiced concerns about her marketability, suggesting that racial bias was a factor and implying that CaitlinClark's rise in popularity was tied to her being white. Fast forward to this May, and despite having her own signature Nike shoe, one that reportedly sold out almost instantly, Wilson continues to express similar frustrations. She's meant to be one of the league's marquee stars. To be clear, there's no denying Aya Wilson's talent on the court. Her game speaks for itself.
Of why there's only one team and one player in the league that draws all the ratings and the rest of the players don't. Because fans, regular sports fans, are very aware of the identity politics, the virtue signaling, and all the rest that has come out of the mouth of these players over the years. Regular sports fans are very aware of this being an activist basketball league. And there was never a reason to watch, because you don't want to support people that you hear this kind of crap from all the time. It's nauseating. The NBA's drop in ratings because of statements just like this as well.
Statements like these can turn potential fans away. They make people think twice before buying your merchandise or offering their support. Many are simply exhausted by the constant narrative. It's part of the reason why only one team and one player seem to draw the bulk of the league's attention, while others struggle to gain traction. Regular sports fans see through the layers of identity politics and virtue signaling that have become more common over time. To them, the league feels more like a platform for activism than basketball, and that shift has alienated a large portion of the audience. We've seen it before. Similar rhetoric has contributed to declining NBA viewership, and it's disheartening to see it happening again.
I mean, the NBA's having a little bit of a ratings rebound, and it's because Adam Silver actually did a "we're not going to get into that anymore" kind of declaration at right before the beginning of last year. So here we are, A'ja Wilson doing it again. This is Outkick. WNBA star A'ja Wilson continues to make wild claims about race. The Las Vegas Aces star is a dominant force in the league, but she also invites a lot of controversy and criticism for stupid comments.
The NBA has recently experienced a modest rebound in ratings, largely after Commissioner Adam Silver made it clear ahead of last season that the league would be steering away from politically charged narratives. And yet, here we are again, with A'ja Wilson in the spotlight. According to Outkick, the WNBA star continues to spark controversy with provocative remarks about race. While the Las Vegas Aces standout is undeniably one of the league's most dominant players, her statements often overshadow her on-court achievements.
Specifically, Wilson appeared to have an issue with the attention CaitlinClark, the woman responsible for elevating the league, received after joining the Indiana Fever. She told the Associated Press following in 2024, when talking about race and marketability, quote, "I think it's a huge thing."
It appears A'ja Wilson took issue with the spotlight CaitlinClark received upon joining the Indiana Fever, despite Clark playing a significant role in drawing new attention to the league. In an interview with the Associated Press, Wilson linked the conversation around marketability to race, implying that black women, regardless of their excellence on the court, are often undervalued and overlooked.
I think a lot of people may say it's not about black and white, but to me, it is. It really is, because you can be top-notch at what you do as a black woman, but yet maybe that's something that people don't want to see. They don't want to see it as marketable. So it doesn't matter how hard I work. It doesn't matter what all we do as black women. We're still going to be swept underneath the rug. That boils my blood when people say it's not about race, because it is. Well, we'll get to some numbers in a minute that's going to knock all kinds of holes into that argument.
Let's take a look at the numbers, which directly contradict A'ja Wilson's claims. For those hoping she'd shift her focus back to basketball, this may come as a letdown. In a recent profile by the New York Times, Wilson once again argued that her lack of marketability compared to someone like CaitlinClark is entirely due to race. Despite facing criticism for similar remarks last year, she's now doubling down. In the interview, Wilson stated unequivocally that race is 100% the reason behind the disparity in marketability.
Well, anyone who was hoping Wilson would just focus on playing basketball is in for a big dose of disappointment. The New York Times recently released a lengthy profile of the Aces player, and again, she claims she's not as marketable as someone like CaitlinClark because she's black. God.
It's important to point out that Aya Wilson has a Nike endorsement, and her signature shoe sold out within minutes of release. A rare achievement in the WNBA. One would think that level of success would be satisfying, especially considering how few players in the league land such high-profile deals. Yet, it seems that's still not enough for her. Consider Michael Jordan, who became a billionaire largely through his Nike partnership. Or LeBron James. Despite his polarizing political commentary, he's arguably the most recognizable athlete in the country. The idea that American consumers shy away from buying products tied to black athletes is not only outdated, it's downright absurd.
My God. Quote, it's 100% about race. Wow, she got drugged last year over this. And now she's doubling down again. And it's one of those things where we can sit there and we can say all the time, but there's always going to be somebody that's like, well, no, you're just making it about race. Well, you are. So Wilson told the New York Times when talking about race and marketability.
Here's a compelling comparison. Last year's WNBA semifinal matchup between the Las Vegas Aces and New York Liberty drew around 850,000 viewers. Meanwhile, a preseason game in Iowa featuring CaitlinClark against Brazil's national team attracted 1.2 million viewers. That gap highlights a crucial point. Marketability often correlates with likability. And who's likable? Look at Shaquille O'Neal, for instance. He's one of the most beloved figures in sports, and last I checked, he's black. Yet he's the face of brands like Papa John's, Icy Hot, and Frosted Flakes, raking in an estimated $60 million annually through endorsements. Clearly, race isn't the defining factor. Personality and public appeal matter too.
It's important to point out that Wilson has a deal with Nike. Her signature shoe sold out within minutes of hitting the market. You'd think she'd be happy with all of her success, especially because few WNBA players have big endorsement deals. But clearly, that's not enough. Michael Jordan is a billionaire in large part because of his relationship with Nike. LeBron James might be woke and insufferable, but he's also probably the most recognizable athlete in America. The list goes on. The idea that American consumers won't buy products tied to black athletes.
Michael Jordan has earned an astounding $4.115 billion from endorsements over his career, averaging between $300 to $400 million per year. LeBron James pulled in about $85 million from endorsements in the 2024-25 season alone. Last time I checked, both Jordan and LeBron are black athletes. This entire debate just doesn't hold up. I've been saying all along that not much will change this season. And this is exactly why. It boils down to one thing, likability. Plain and simple. The whole situation is just unbelievable.
It's a serious argument. Agreed. Who did this? Who? Yeah, my boy, David Hookstead over there. Okay, so we'll get to some reaction from that because people are like, come on, give me a break. But before we do, let me point out something.
Some have sarcastically claimed that white consumers never buy products endorsed by black athletes. A notion that quickly falls apart when you consider that Michael Jordan's Jumpman brand is arguably the largest athletic brand globally. By making these types of statements about racism, Wilson is only harming her own marketability and appeal. Her focus on playing the victim ultimately works against her. Despite her undeniable talent on the basketball court, these comments make her less likable to the public. The list of successful black athletes with massive endorsement deals is long. Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, Serena Williams, and many others.
Las Vegas Aces, New York Liberty were involved in the semifinals last year. A lot of this is flat about likability and people wanting to support their teams, yada, yada, yada. The semifinals got 850,000 views.
The WNBA suffered a $40 million loss last year, and to be frank, it operates more like a charity than a profitable league. Largely due to attitudes like these in players such as DJ Jane Carrington. If CaitlinClark were to get injured, the league's viewership would likely plummet back to around 450,000 viewers almost instantly.
All right. It was not the last preseason game, but the one in Iowa against the Brazil national team. CaitlinClark got 1.2 million views on that game, a preseason game. All right. So there's levels of marketability that's tied to likability. Guess who's likable? Shaquille O'Neal.
These players seem unaware of how this kind of rhetoric has contributed to the league's financial losses over the years. It also sheds light on why CaitlinClark faces so much criticism. People see her popularity growing but dislike her presence, and yet, even a year later, they continue to make the same unfounded claims. To me, it's both unbelievable and perplexing.
Tickets for this game actually sold out within the hour when it was announced, and people were lining up for over 3 hours before the game just to get into this arena. So to say that this game was highly anticipated and was hyped up would be an understatement.
CaitlinClark was left completely stunned. Not because she made a long-range shot or broke another record, but due to something far more extraordinary. The entire Brazilian team, along with their coach, showed such genuine admiration that it caught even the most composed athlete off guard. Players lined up eagerly, hoping to get her autograph on their jerseys. She signed each one, a gesture so rare it felt legendary. It was a moment reminiscent of iconic sportsmanship we haven't seen in years. Clark was literally autographing the jerseys of the very teams she competed against, an incredible sign of respect and recognition. They were so impressed by her that it felt like she was riding on their shoulders.
Point, of course, she's upset. She made a couple of comments a couple of days ago about people literally covering statistical data involving attendance. That's a problem. That's hate.